Welcome to ZOOMERTIMES TV. And here's your host, Anita Finley.
It's time for the album show.
There you go.
That's AHLBUM. And you've heard John Ahlbum before, but he brought his son with him, which is pretty exciting. In front of him. Okay, now he's
I'm here now. Yes, sorry.
Okay.
I wanted to switch so I could see everyone.
Okay. So the album show is going to be John Ahlbum and Tim Ahlbum. And of course, you've heard about the Ahlbum Group. The Ahlbum Group is very important. They sell, the Ahlbum Insurance Company. They specialize in the United American Insurance. And that's something I've had. And John Ahlbum is a very fine gentleman who has been in the insurance business for many years, so you can trust him. And right now, I'm sure you've been seeing an awful lot of commercials about people who are interested in Medicare and what they should be doing. So Tim, we're glad that you've joined us today as the son. I'm sure you've learned a lot from your dad.
I have, yes. Tons.
What?
Tons, yes. Yes, he's taught me a lot.
I'm sure he has. He's been a great friend to us, as well as someone who's been advertising the United American Insurance. So as a younger part of the company, what do you bring to the company in a sense, except for your loyalty, of course, to your dad and all? What do you think you bring to the Ahlbum Group?
I probably bring a younger, more tech savvy, dynamic, also, more of a financial based background. I was a finance major in college and kind of, have an understanding of investments, risk, understanding people's medical risks to go along with their financial needs, tax ramifications, being business owners, learning the aspects of that as well, and helping people navigate Medicare, not only with the health portion of it, but through the financial portion of it as well. I say is where, my niche with the company is and where I've chose to succeed.
Well, were you on the debating team? You seem so perfect with your words.
I've just been doing this a long time. I may look young, but I've been doing this for 20 years now. So really? I'm not the young face. I'm a veteran now doing this.
So John, you've been hiding Tim from us.
What happened? I turned the volume down a little bit and I lost you guys.
Oh, well, he said a lot of good things. And when Dan sends the recording, you'll be able to hear it. It was brilliant. You didn't want to miss that.
I heard what he said. I just had lost for some reason with you guys.
Are you okay now?
I got Zoom United. That's all I see on my screen.
Oh. Well, we see you, so we can keep talking. And then even if we don't see you all the time, Dan will keep you in the conversation. Okay? Okay. So now you've come back from the Cape and now you're working here in Broward County. Let me ask you a question. Are you noticing that more people now are going about their own, what they used to do because of the COVID? Has it eased up with your clients?
I think he'll probably answer that better than me because he's been here. I've been up north, so everything I've done has been remote,
I would say everything that I see now is almost certain it's done virtually. At least on my ends of things. It's made a little bit easier on my part because this time of year I'd be stuck in my car driving all over the place. So I enjoy doing it virtually and get a lot more done. There are a few clients that still want to meet face to face, but I think there's still fear out there, and especially seniors are staying away and trying to avoid too much contact with people.
Well, when we first started, before we actually got on, I said I thought I had seen you at our expos, and we've of course been doing, I think we've done 24 expos, but I have to tell you that I was planning the expo in January, and after talking with the people at the Bolin Center where I thought I would start doing one, I'm not so sure if we're going to do it in January, just for what you said too. It's they're, the senior expos really depend on the seniors to come. And I'm not sure if it's the right time. So I just now worked on a meeting with them at the Bolin Center, and this is new. No one has heard this yet. I just called Dan too and told him. So we're rethinking this. I don't know if we're going to do it in January, just for what you said also.
Yeah, I think that would be tough to get a good showing. Even vendor wise, I think you'd probably have a tough time.
That's what I meant. And if I can't, if vendors aren't happy, what good is that? That's not because you have to pay to be there. No, it may be too soon, but just what you were saying that, and it's amazing how the older folks now have learned how to get on Zoom.
Zoom, FaceTime, you name it, Google Meet. There's so many different avenues.
Oh, I never heard of Google Meet. Is Google Meet a Zoom?
No, Meet. Google Meet.
Oh, Meet. A Google Meet?
Yeah.
Is that a Zoom?
It's a form, just another form of video conferencing.
I see. Well, the other thing is that people who are on Zoom, I just attended a funeral on Zoom.
Really, I haven't been to one of those yet.
And you know why? It's actually, I think it should be even when people are together, because you're never together at funerals. In a sense, you're there, but there's someone up there talking, whether it's the religious person up there, the pastor or the rabbi or somebody, but then you don't get to talk to everybody. But here, everyone had something to say, and it was really quite beautiful.
Okay, I could see that.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're finding when you talk with someone about the United American supplement compared to everything else? People really get confused. So why don't if someone calls you and said, well, what do you do? Why are you different? What do you say?
Well, I mean, United American. Oh, go. You're gonna give this one, Dad? Go for it.
You want me to do it? You want to do it, Tim?
No, go for it. You go ahead.
One of the questions that I keep getting is because there are all these supposed experts that are going on TV and everything talking about Medicare Advantage plans are pushing things like gym memberships and dental and vision and things like that. If they were to read anything on any of the federal websites or any of the Medicare websites, they would realize that, and I tell people this, you want to give up your doctor to go to the gym? Because that's what's going to end up happening, because these Advantage plans aren't going to take a break in what they make. So they're going to pay the doctors less. Fewer doctors are going to participate. And you're going to get a gym membership that you probably won't even use. Or you get a dental plan with a dentist you don't want to go to. And if, God forbid, something serious happens, for instance, cancer, they don't tell you on their blown up speech that they give on TV that you can't go to any of the major cancer hospitals if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan. You have to have Medicare and a supplement to go. So you're giving up a lot of your medical coverage at an older age to go to the gym for nothing. And then I had people say, I don't want to go to the gym. I just want the free gym membership.
Right.
Why?
I think a lot of people don't understand. In my opinion, it's all about access. And replacing your Medicare with a Medicare Advantage plan is going to limit your access to providers. Keeping traditional Medicare and getting a supplement, whether it's United American or any other carrier, is always going to allow you access anywhere in the country. And you're also going to be able to essentially alleviate or eliminate your costs not covered by Medicare. When you're dealing with these supplements or with these advanced plans, that are being pitched all over the place. People are getting 50 pieces of mail in their mailbox. They're getting bombarded every time you turn on the television by some famous ex-quarterback or movie star or ex-coach. There's a reason that every time you turn the television on, because these are gigantic profit makers for these companies. They're subsidized by the government. And these companies are making a ton of money. That's the only reason that they can mail you something every day. And where is it at? That's the cost of you. I read in the Sun Sentinel today that all the out-of-pocket costs on all the Medicare Advantage plans for 2022 have increased. So, and I also read a great article in Temperature last week that, you may not have a premium for your Medicare Advantage plan, but if you get sick, your cost will far exceed the premium that you're paying for a Medicare Advantage plan. For a Medicare Supplement plan. So people need to understand what they're buying into. And looking at a plan and buying your healthcare because of dental, vision, and a gym membership is not ever what we recommend. And, I think a lot of people get stuck into these plans and they join them because they look so great. And then they don't have the ability to get out of them because, if you do get sick in one of those plans, you're stuck in them.
Well, one thing I've told John, and I've shared with our listeners and viewers, that not only I've had, of course, the United American, but my husband did for many years. And he had a total of 4 hips at different times and 2 knees. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember paying anything. Is that possible, John?
Yeah, I think you ever paid for your husband was the premium, and that was it.
That's it. I don't think he
No
ever
extras,
paid.
there's no extras because everything was covered at 100% between Medicare and United American.
Absolutely. And we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what Tim just said, I don't think would be true under other circumstances, would it, Tim?
It definitely wouldn't have. And, you wouldn't have had the ease of going to whatever provider that you wanted to have perform the surgery, whatever facility, surgery, the PT afterwards, all the follow-up, all of those things, you were allowed to control where you wanted to go, and there wasn't any cost. And that's peace of mind.
Exactly. Yeah, we always amazed, and we went to the best doctors we could find, and we didn't have to ask if they were in any particular thing. I tell you, I do have a question though about something. What is the difference in all of the Medicare, the plans? I don't mean Medicare plans, all the HMO Advantage plans. Do they not all do the same? Tell me what the differences are. Not yours, but the Medicare Advantage plans.
Well, you have 2 different options. You have either a HMO based plan or a PPO based plan. Essentially, they're both managed care because they're being subsidized by the government and administered through a private company. A Medicare HMO is going to require you to use only in-network access. So you have 0 coverage outside of network, unless it's an emergency. But yeah, a lot of people think that they're safe when they're traveling because they have emergency coverage in their HMO. That's basically a ticket to the emergency room. Beyond that, you don't have any coverage. The PPOs, which again, by term, a PPO is a preferred provider organization, and it would give you access in and out of network. But there are a lot of providers who absolutely refuse to use any type of Medicare replacement plan, even though it is a PPO. Your plan says you can use out-of-network providers, but if the doctor says, I don't take this, then they're not going to see you. And there's a lot of facilities that definitely won't see you. So, you do have those 2 options. You could do the HMO or the PPO. Again, both are replacing your Medicare and become managed care. I think it's kind of a farce the way they call their PPO plans anywhere you want to go, because that's definitely not the case.
Okay, so John, hearing that though, how about we hear on television so many different HMO Advantage plans? So what's the difference in each one of those?
Say that again, Amanda?
Well, when you're watching TV, there are so many HMO Advantage plans. This one, that one, they're all different names. What are the differences in those?
Their name. Basically, the name is all
I mean,
different.
let's,
They're all
yeah,
hard. But the
I'm
other-
sorry, what?
The other thing that people should keep in mind is all of the stuff that's going on, the advertising prior to October 15th, the phone calls, the different plans that call and try to switch your drug plan off outside of open enrollment and tell you it's okay. And when they do, they also trying to talk you into, or they've actually switched you at the same time to a PPO or an HMO. All of that stuff is illegal, totally illegal. There's been a lot of chat back and forth in the Medicare Advisor's newsletter. And the problem is that even though Medicare and Centers for Medicare Services admit that what's going on is not legal and is forbidden, they don't have anybody or haven't taken any steps to go after any of the companies that are violating the rules, so they can get away with it.
Oh, boy, I didn't know that. I'm not up to date on that. But let's say you
If you
see,
knew there was a stretch of the turnpike where you could drive 100, you'd never get a ticket. There'd be a lot of people driving 100, you know?
right, that's true. Yeah, they come zooming by me. But let's say, just to name a few, so if I see Humana and I see Admin and I see Care Plus and I see all these, what are the differences in each one of them? How's someone supposed to know that?
Well, there's different. The carriers are obviously different. The benefit structure that they offer is different. They design it, and then they have to get it approved by Medicare. Their networks are different. Their approval processes are different. The way they pay the doctors is completely different. That might be the biggest, thing that seniors should look at. Your doctor is a businessman, and when he stops getting paid or gets paid a lot less, he's not going to take that carrier anymore. But you have your traditional, you have Humana. Care Plus is owned by Humana. You have Preferred Care Partners, you have United Healthcare, you have Florida Blue and all their different plans. Medica, that's actually owned by United Healthcare as well. You have a lot of smaller regional type Advantage plans that are starting to come in. I think Prominence is one of the new ones, and you actually even see some hospitals that are getting into the Medicare Advantage market, that are creating their own plans because they think that they can centralize everyone. A lot of people like going to a certain facility, so they're like, let's build a plan. But a lot of people don't realize that they don't have any coverage outside of that hospital anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
And the
Well,
other thing that
Yeah,
so many of these Advantage plans, and especially like Tim mentioned, the hospitals and stuff that get into it, their whole push is to do virtual appointments. They don't want you to come in and see them. They want you to sit at home and talk to them over, like we're doing now, over Zoom or something.
yeah, telemedicine, right?
Yeah. And that's, how do you get your blood checked on a virtual appointment?
Well,
On a virtual appointment.
yeah, well, I guess they send someone there, they do something. I guess they figured this out. But one thing Tim said that I just never focus on is that the government is really paying for a lot of this.
Absolutely.
And so the executives must be making a lot of money.
Again, the amount of money that's spent on marketing is pretty. Yeah, it has to. It makes you think.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I've always told John is when you call a physician's office, before they even say, hello, what's your name? They say, what's your insurance?
Yep.
They absolutely do.
You know, and
Yep.
United American has always been, in fact, I did call one office once. They asked me, I said, United American. They said, what? Never heard of that. I said, excuse me, would you please talk to someone else on the phone who knows this? And right away, oh, I'm sorry, yes. You know, I mean, because she had no idea, but I have always been treated, you know, I've never had a problem. I get appointments sooner.
Yes, as you will. Yeah, I mean, doctors know the background of United American. I mean, doctors are usually our best referral source because they get paid so fast. They don't have to do, they have automatic claims filing, so they don't have to file extra paperwork. They get paid on time, which is in turn, going to get you into their office. You're not going to have to wait 6 weeks to see a provider. Those are a lot of things, and especially with the Advantage plans you see, as providers shrink and networks shrink, your ability to see doctors, or if you need to see a cardiologist or a specialty doctor, they're completely overbooked with the Advantage plans, and getting in to see them is impossible. Where with a supplement and with United American, you have access wherever you want, and you don't have to wait.
Yeah, no, you did speak the truth about that. It's been very hard. I mean, even my vet, sometimes it takes 2 months for me to get my dog into a vet. Can you believe this?
I've also found that a lot of the medical offices now, all are training their telephone people and desk people about Advantage plans. So I've had clients that have gone in that have United American, have been going to this doctor for years. They go in and the receptionist will say, oh, we don't accept that plan anymore.
Right.
And the whole list is just the Advantage plans that somebody from upstairs has sent down to them.
Yeah.
And I tell the client, ask them if they accept Medicare, and if they do, then they have to accept United American because it's a secondary insurance to Medicare.
Yep. That's right. When they ask for their Medicare card, that's just perfect. Both of you must be very pleased with the company that you work with, because it's a hard business. It's always been a hard business, no matter whether it's insurance or finance. And there's so many slips and slides, and to be with a company, though, that you trust and that you appreciate and that you can brag about, isn't that nice?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sell it to your, I always say, my parents already have it, but I sell it to my in-laws. So more important, right?
Yeah, that's right. Or it's divorce.
Yeah, exactly. I have to sleep next to her. So
Right?
yes.
That's great. Well, and also now your mom is in this, which is so wonderful, isn't it?
Yes. She's in this business as well. It's definitely a family affair.
Mm-hmm. It's really important to know that it is. Now you have what? You have a couple of brothers, a sister. What else do you have in your family? I forget.
I have an older brother and 2 younger sisters.
Right.
And actually Sunday, our youngest, who is actually 12 years younger than me, we're all spread out in age pretty good. She has an engagement party. She's getting married next August. So big Sunday for us.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Is it down here, the engagement party?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes.
So John's he's looking to be a grandfather at one point. Are you a grandfather yet, John?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well,
Yes.
it's nothing then.
He has 5 granddaughters.
Yeah.
Oh my, wow.
Yes.
I'm sure he's a great grandfather. I'm sure he is. This is the way that he acts, and also Well, I have to just tell you that it was the nicest thing that Dan arranged, or whether it was John, to have Tim on today, because this was special. We don't usually, haven't had a father-son, and the fact you're in the business, this is just a wonderful thing to do. So, are there any times when you need advice from your father in the business?
Yeah, well, I'd say we both kind
yes, Tim.
yeah,
We share.
I would say we both bounce things off of each other. Yeah.
Yes. We do. We communicate frequently with different thoughts and different questions and stuff.
Right. And one thing John's told me is you do try to keep in touch with your clients because, unlike what he's said this before, that when you're in an HMO, Advantage or whatever, sometimes you don't get the same person and you don't have someone that you can talk to.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that's an important thing that seniors should factor in when they're buying their insurance, is that the stability of your agent and the agency that they work for. Have they been around and they have staying power, or are you buying it from someone who's going to be doing something different next week? A lot of people try and get into this market. It's become a very popular market, but knowing who you're buying from and that they're going to be here tomorrow or 20 years from now, that's huge confidence. And I wish more people would realize those kind of things. Really look at the plan that they're buying. Look who they're buying it from.
Well, we've just about run out of time, and Dan's on, and it's not that his hat has this little rotor thing. That's his fan. Every time
Yes.
he comes on with the fan. You remember, Dan, those little caps, and it was a thing on the round.
Oh, the beanie. Yeah.
The beanie, I remember.
I think I had one.
And it's
when I
so
was a
close
kid.
to your head, Dan.
Yeah.
It looks like you have a hat on with that on.
Well, poor Tim I think Tim's too young to remember the beanie cap. I don't know. I think that was a cartoon character or.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
But John and I do.
There we go. How's that?
Well, we thank you all. We thank you, United American. I failed to give a phone number, which I should do now, 877-970-4760. Again, 877-970-4760, or go on the web to ahlbumgroup.com, AHLBUM group.com. And you'll be able to either talk to Tim or someone there from the office, but most of them all have the last name of Ahlbum. So thank you very much for being with us today, and have a safe the rest of the month.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Bye now.